Hello everybody. So this video we're going to talk about how you are the profit center for your own career. And you need to start looking at a lot of things as if you're running a business and you are the asset. So firstly, your salary is not what you're worth a lot of the times to the company. Your salary is what it costs to keep you from leaving. Those two are completely different numbers. And the gap between them is the most important thing about sort of your career that not a lot of people really will ever take time to explain it to, because here's the frame almost I see most people get wrong. The company pays you money, money flows to you, and then you're an expense. Flip it. In banking, you're not a cost, you're a profit center, a revenue generating unit for the firm. You generate actual numbers because they put you out at a dollar value, or you close a deal and then you get a cut of the commission. That is your dollar value to the firm. And you need to understand the unit economics of yourself. And I think once you apply this to banking, I think that's when it starts to get a little bit easier to understand everything. Um, so firstly, let's actually build it. Every profit center has a revenue side and a cost side. So starting with revenue, what your seat generates. As an analyst, your output is models, analysis, materials. On its own, that sounds like support work, but that work is an input to something enormous, the fees the bank charge the clients. An M&A advisory fee, a financing fee, those run into millions, sometimes tens of millions, sometimes a couple 100,000, dependent on the type of work and how long it is on a single deal. And in private equity, you're getting charged for your returns based on what you clear above a hurdle rate or a predetermined management fee. You don't capture those fees, obviously, though, however. Maybe you do, depending if you have some profit sharing or if you have some carry allocation or equity. But a whole team produces those teams. It's not just you. You are attributed to a percentage of it. But the seniors, the partners, they flow from their relationship. So the bank can roughly attribute a slice of this revenue to you. So on the revenue side of your P&L, your number is very, very big. That's the first thing to internalize. The value flowing through your seat dwarfs what you are paid. I mean, right now I'm on what, 5 million, 7 million, 4 million, 1.5 million. I'm on however many millions that is a fee. Call it like $15 million worth of fee, and I'm an analyst one. I'm getting, $1.60 to $1.80, depending on how my performance reviews go. But I won't ever see that 15, $16 million this year. It goes a lot to the partners, goes a lot to the deal team, goes a lot to the firm. Now on the cost side though, your cost of the firm isn't your salary, it's your total loaded cost. Your salary, yes. Your bonus, yes. Your benefits, yes. Plus the overhead, your desk, the system, the Cap IQ subscription, the PitchBook subscription, the Bloomberg subscription. And this is another huge one, the time of the senior people managing you. My MD can go out and probably drum up, 2 to 3 deals or 2 to 3 pitches a month, but he might only do one because he's spending time mentoring his team, for example. And that's where a lot of people struggle to understand the cost side of it. Excuse me. A managing director's hours spent fixing your work is an indirect expense that does cut into the firm's profitability. Because an MD, a director, their job should be to go drum up new business. So every second they aren't doing that, that is a loss to the firm, in theory, in accounting. And add that all up, that's your true cost of the firm, and it's meaningfully higher than the number on the offer letter. That's the fully loaded cost, the real expense of the seat. Write it down, both sides, and now you have the unit economics, the revenue, and the seat, what it actually costs. Subtracting one from the other gets what the firm cares about, the spread. The margin your seats throws off, and the rule that governs your existence at the firm is if the spread is positive, they keep your seat. If it goes negative, you're gone. That's the same in hedge funds, private equity. Corporates, slightly different because some corporates are actually, they care about their employees. But that's a whole relationship stripped of any sentiment. This isn't, I'm trying not to be cynical. This is just the way I see it. Once you see yourself as the profit center with a spread, a lot of confusing things about the job become less confusing. And some examples are the hours and the bonus. So first off, the hours. This job is brutal. A lot of jobs are brutal, but there's a reason for it. People assume it's, tradition, sadism, or hazing. It's utilization math. Your salary is a fixed cost. The firm pays you the same whether I work for 40 hours or 90. I know what I'm getting every 2 weeks. So once they've committed to that fixed cost, every additional hour they can extract from me, it's basically free to them and potentially generates more output than feeds more revenue. A profit center with mostly fixed costs gets utilized hard. That's the rational thing to do with the asset. That's what every corporate finance or accounting thing would tell you. The 90-hour week isn't the bug, it's the firm maxing the return on a fixed cost on something already being paid. Nobody's being cruel, it's just the economics. And then for the bonus, back to the cold open, you're not paid your contribution, you're paid the minimum it takes you to not leave. Your base is the floor that retains you, your bonus is the carefully calibrated slice. Just enough of the surplus to stop you from walking to a competitor and not one more dollar more than the market requires. The firm captures that gap, that what I generate compared to what the firm generates, and that's the profit. So your comp tracks your replaceability, not your output. The more interchangeable you are, and as a junior, I'm very interchangeable right now, the smaller my slices. And this is a very important comp insight that happened to me fairly early on and really jumped up as I've been in banking longer. And I've realized I don't want to just be an interchangeable seat to the firm. So what do? I start thinking about how to move for the money. Most juniors, including of myself, think work harder and be better at execution, but looking at the P&L, being the fastest modeler makes you a slightly better, banana monkey. It doesn't change the fundamental fact that I'm replaceable and far from where the revenue is actually originated. Polishing my execution keeps my spread positive, yes, but it doesn't grow my slice. What grows your slice is moving closer to revenue. In every firm, in every organization, the people who are capturing real money are the ones bringing in the money, the relationships, the clients, the deals. The entire career arc from analyst to is a migration from executes to originates the revenue. The closer you are to where the fees are actually created, the less replaceable you become, the bigger your share of the spend. Skills don't get you paid, proximity to revenue does. And the deepest move, and one that follows the logic all the way out, if you're a profit center capturing a small slice of the spread you help create, the ultimate move towards the money move isn't moving to a better firm that gives you better economics. It's owning the whole P&L yourself, being the entity that captures the full spread instead of renting your seat for a fraction of it. The unit economics of an employee always favor the employer. That's not a flaw from the inside, that's just how the game's always been made. And at some point, it is the reason to own the thing. So again, I'm a cost, you're a cost, we're a cost. You're a profit center with a revenue, a fully loaded cost, and the spread is what the firm pays to keep you. The hours are utilization, the bonus is retention, your pay tracks how replaceable you are, and they want to get more throughput out of you. None of this is something to resent, it's something to use. Know your own unit economics, watch your replaceability, and point every rep towards the revenue instead of being away from it, because the only thing that actually moves your slice, and if you ever want the whole spread instead of a sliver of it, the math is telling you the same thing it tells everyone when they decide to leave. Go do your own thing. Don't just sit in it. Thank you. This was a shorter one, and sorry for any rambling. It was a brutal past couple days in banking. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will be with you in the next one.